Sophie Bickford and I'm the Executive Director of the Biolinks Alliance. Biolinks Alliance is establishing a project called Glideways, which aims to reconnect and protect glider habitat through central Victoria. Since the recent terrible bushfires, when so many animals' lives were lost, people have been wondering what they can do to help these species. Glideways is launching a citizen science program to identify where gliders are in the central Victorian landscape so we can better protect those areas and restore them. So the goal of Glideways is to increase the populations of these threatened creatures in the landscape. To do this, we need to know where they are, what condition their habitat's in, so we can target our protection and restoration works. We need to not only protect the patches of good habitat that they currently exist in, but we need to reconnect those habitat patches so species can move. They can escape wildfire, they can find mates to breed. We can maintain their population diversity, the genetics. It's important to keep a diverse population so that our future populations can adapt to climate change. The Strathbogie Ranges Conservation Management Network, headed by Janet Hagen, is a key partner in the Biolinks Glideways program. Janet has gliders on her property and is heading the citizen science program in the Strathbogie-Euroa region.
Gliders depend on having big old trees in the landscape so that they can climb up to a height and glide to the next tree. They can't cross spaces greater than 100 metres, so they will not travel there. So they need a connected landscape rather than a fragmented landscape. And nowadays our landscape is quite fragmented with highways, roadways, farmland interspersed. So this makes it hard for them. The more reportings of sightings that we can gather now help us to build up a picture of what the current populations actually are and plan for things in the future, plan for future connections and things like that. So this citizen science information will be used to change our landscape. We've looked at the information recorded in the Atlas of Australia. There's not much recorded for the Strathbogie Ranges, especially the Seymour end of the ranges. We think that's just because no one's taken the time to look. The days of teams of scientists going out and collecting large amounts of data are over. We're going to depend on citizen science information to build a better picture of what's actually happening there. You don't need qualifications or any great expertise to become a citizen scientist. We'll train you. We just want people who are interested in observing nature and who notice what's going on their property. Especially people that might have owned their property for many generations. They might have some historical records that they can base their searches on. The more information we have, the more reported sightings we have, then the better we can design the program.
So the purpose of fauna monitoring is to allow us to see what's present in the neighbourhood as well as what's missing or not present. It also lets us see what the breeding pattern is happening, if they are breeding or not breeding. Are the right resources there for the species? Have we got endangered species? They're very cryptic or small in numbers, so they are hard to find, so monitoring allows us to see that. It also shows what feral animals are moving through the system, which could be putting pressure on what's already a threatened species. So it gives us a lot of information in a fairly short amount of time. So some of the traditional monitoring techniques in the past have been hair funnels, which are difficult and a lot of animals won't go through them anyway, so you're not picking up what you're after. There's trapping methods, which again can be a welfare issue. They're also time consuming. You need to be checking them, every day or twice a day, depending on their setup. There's permits required, which your average landholder can't get. You need, a study to be gaining that sort of access. Whereas these days we've got things like the nest boxes, which are easy to monitor remotely. We've got the camera traps setting up, so you don't have the welfare issues. The animals are less impacted on, but you're still picking up really important information. And it also lets the landholder get more engaged. And I think that way they'll make more notes, they'll keep a better lookout of what's going on, and they'll take some ownership of the project.
So through this series, we're going to show you how you can get involved with the Glideways program. You can do it in 3 ways. You could submit a historical sighting. Perhaps you've seen a glider on your property or on the roadside. Would be really interested to have that information. You could set up a camera on your property and to see who's living in your trees. Or you could get involved in a nest box monitoring program. We're also going to show you how you can record that data and submit it so we can use it to plan how we restore landscapes and do better for these species. The Glideways program has been funded by the Ross Trust Foundation and is being delivered in partnership with the Great Eastern Ranges Connectivity Conservation Initiative.
You don't need qualifications or experience. All you need to do is just observe nature and follow your senses.